All right, so today what I'm doing, so I already talked about it a little bit. We're gonna do a master study. This one's called this piece right here is called Aria by Eugene Bozza. This is gonna be performed by Otis Murphy. I'll actually link the video down below. And like I said earlier, we're just gonna react to it and really listen to what's going on here. I've been looking at this piece of music for a little bit. I've been wanting to perform it for a while. My fear has always been not performing it well. So we're gonna actually listen in and take in some stuff. And actually, I kind of want a notepad, so I like a physical notepad. Do I have one? Oh, there's one right here. Oh wait, but there's one right here. All right, cool. So I got my notepad, and I've got a pen. So let's get to it. So something that I definitely am gonna have to watch for is this wonderful word called intonation, which is talking about when I talk about intonation, I'm talking about. One second. I'm trying to write and talk at the same time. They don't work. When I talk about intonation, I'm talking about what is my note in tune. This is going to really challenge me because as I get higher and higher up the register, it's very natural for the note to get really high up there in the stratosphere, get really sharp. It's very easy to do. So that's something that I'm gonna have to really watch for when I go to perform this. But he's doing really well here. He has kind of a It's kind of a subtony type thing that he's doing right there. And that's just something that he's probably choosing to do, that or he doesn't realize it. A lot of time you won't hear the air escaping from your saxophone. So that's something different that he does there that actually I didn't even think. So there was a grace note pattern. So what I was hearing there actually, so when I heard it from a different person, I heard someone else perform it before. I was listening to him for a long time. So he actually, let's go back and listen to that real quick. Yeah, so na na na. He kind of plays it like that. It's almost like the grace note is part of the I'm sorry, it's part of the dang it. What is the thing? Whatever. Okay, it's part of it's a part of that four beat the three beats. So and it's very interesting because usually when I play a grace note, I try to actually play the grace note a bit before I actually start the next measure. There it is, measure. so, so I'm gonna put this in my notes too. So grace notes are a virtue. They are a blessing. I have to play them. I have to play according to the style, obviously, but I also have to play very stylistically. And I like what he's done there is he's used the grace notes as a way to get into the next part. So play with style. We already listened to this. And there's the grace notes again, but this time he did it a little bit differently. So I noticed that the grace notes actually change depending on the feel of the music, the ambiance that you want to give. The ambiance is like the emotion that you want to portray to the room, kind of. So like earlier, I'm sorry I keep going back so often. So notice how that fraction or section of the song was very not necessarily ferocious, but it was a bit more upbeat and pushy. He's really pushing versus, and then he backs off. So the grace notes, I feel like he with these grace notes, I have to play it with the style of what's happening. I have to play it in context of what's happening. So that is definitely going also there. So grace notes, I have to play them within context of what's actually happening. We're gonna keep going. And just real quick, again, there it is again. So he's push, 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 and then he no. As he's coming back on these longer, more melodic notes, where he could really push out the tone and let people know that, hey, I'm here and listen to my tone. In those really long notes, he's pulling back a little bit and playing really soft, really elegantly. And then there's moments in the song where it's very upbeat and we're pushing, push, push, push. And I like it. I can't think of another word besides push. That's just what I'm thinking of. Like I'm thinking like really play loud and proud. Not necessarily like super loud, but it's a loud of it's full. That's what it is. It's a full sound, very very full. As opposed to where you're playing, I feel like in the beginning I'll be playing like a piano, mezzo piano, but when he gets to these parts, like in that first minute mark, and just a little bit before this, you're going to be playing a forte, mezzo forte, pushing a forte. So, and those are dynamic readings, so no big deal. Right, so right now we're pulled back. That's gonna suck to read. I think that was an air start. I'm gonna listen to that again. That is either an air start or a really soft tongue. Either way it goes. I'm gonna write play / start softly. And then if we really pay attention here, this is more for me than for you, but so I'm noticing that and this is something that I haven't figured out yet. Vibrato. So vibrato, in simple terms, is just the ability to be able to vibrate the tone. It's that thing that opera singers do really, 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 really well. And for me on saxophone, and a lot of instrumentalists can do it. Of course, I can do vibrato. That is a great thing that I can do. The issue is that their vibrato also needs to change based on style. So if we listen, I don't know if I already pulled it back. So if we listen again, so there he's using that vibrato, and it sounds very for the lack of better word for it, it's vocal. Like if someone were to sing this, that's what it would sound like. That's what that has to sound like. My vibrato, if you guys listen to me play further back on the channel, you guys will find that my vibrato is actually very trying to think of the word for it. It's a Kenny G vibrato. It is very Kenny G like. If you go to listen to any Kenny G's charts, that's my vibrato, and that's the vibrato I use all the time. It's very inappropriate for this type of piece, so I will need to actually really work on that on this vibrato thing. I don't know if I really want to test that this time around, but we're gonna see what happens when I go to perform this. And listen to that ending. Listen to that ending. Huge decrescendo. Very dramatic decrescendo. Very, very dramatic decrescendo at the end. And the pianist does a really good job of following that. Overall, very masterful. Apparently, there's 2 more minutes to this. I'm very confused. What's the rest of it? Nothing. It's nothing. It's just that's okay. So, yeah. Good job, Otis Murphy. Wonderful playing. Like I said, I'm gonna drop this in the comment section below. Give thanks and props to where it's due. Make sure to actually give this a few views. Listen to it. I'm gonna be listening to this a lot. I don't know if, like I said, in this master study, I have to try to attempt to play as masterfully and as closely as I can, and of course follow the beautiful, beautiful notes that I have made here. Um, so it's gonna be a real mission for me, but I think I'm gonna do it. I think I can do this. So expect within the next week or two that I'll be posting again, and this time it'll be the performance of me playing Aria. I will not have a pianist with me because I don't want to go grab a pianist. Also, I'm not that good at piano yet, so I can't perform for myself. So it will be a solo, and then a week after that, there will be a full review on it. All right, thanks for watching. Deuces.